The Houston Rockets have lost Fred VanVleet to a torn ACL, and Joe Cowley has a trade suggestion to help the Rockets. We'll talk about it right after this. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome back to a Whole Lotta Bull. I'm Troy. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Troy, but please follow the show more importantly at a Whole Lotta Bull. So before I get into the episode today, just want to say a huge thank you and massive shout out to Phil from Just Another Year, Chicago Bulls. He, as you all saw on Saturday morning Adelaide time here down in Australia, or Friday night for you guys in the States, uh, Phil was the mastermind in putting together a massive panel of Bulls podcasters from around the world. So obviously, I had Phil himself and Hayes from Chicago Bulls Central, both coming out in the US. Neil Dunn from Sea Red UK, obviously the great man over in Ireland, and then myself down here in little old Adelaide in Australia. We all got together for Bulls Without Borders. It was the first of what's going to be a monthly show, and the plan going forward is to also have Jamal from Bull Central YouTube channel there, and the wonderful Queen of Chicago, Jordan Brand representative, Miss Melissa. Hopefully, the plan is for them to be joining us in future episodes as well. Some of us might be in and out due to scheduling reasons. Hopefully plan to be for in those episodes every single month when they do come down. But yeah, some of us might be coming in and out every month. Hopefully the plan is for majority of them is for all of us to be together, all six of us. But it was a absolute great episode. Thank you, Phil, for wanting me to be a part of it. Means a lot. Just being just a regular Bulls fan down here in Australia. So no, definitely honored to be a part of Bulls Without Borders. And if you haven't checked out that episode yet, you can check it out on my channel. So while it was streamed through Just Another Year Chicago Bulls, there is actually going to be a YouTube channel called Bulls Without Borders. So all future episodes will be hosted from that YouTube channel. So go find it and subscribe to it now. Um, but it will also be available now. We will also all of us who are on the podcast at that time will share it through our own channels as well. So you'll be able to get it through here on Whole Lot of Bull. You'll be able to get it through Chicago Bull Central with Hayes, Just Another Year Chicago Bulls with Phil, and Bulls Central with Jamal. But yeah, the main one will be Bulls Without Borders. Go subscribe to that channel now. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to all the rest of us yet as well, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and make sure you join in with us for each of our own channels separately. All right, so it came out that Fred VanVleet has suffered a torn ACL during some workouts leading into training camp with the Houston Rockets. So massive blow to the championship push for the Houston Rockets. Obviously, just fresh off of trading for Kevin Durant. The Houston Rockets are pushing for a title this season. You know, you get a player like Kevin Durant, you're going for a championship. Obviously, things didn't work out with Phoenix there with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. I think to be honest, once they got Bradley Beal, that thing was a wrap anyway. Um, so Joe Cowley has put out an article suggesting, and he titles it "Houston, we have a solution." Coby White to the Rockets. Now, it starts off the article by saying it's a phone call that needs to be made. As a matter of fact, it should have been made days ago. If not, shame on Bulls executive vice president of basketball operations, Arturas Karnisovas. Now we all know what Joe Cowley's like. He likes to, especially on Twitter, throw chaos grenades. He likes to think his opinion is fact in times. Mate, it's just your opinion doesn't mean that's what should happen. Um, but yeah, as the news broke that Houston point guard Fred VanVleet torn his ACL, he's done for the season. Cowley suggests that this is where Karnisovas and the Chicago Bulls come into play. Now he says in this article, sure, Houston can hope that Amen Thompson can help out in the playmaking department, or that second year guard Reed Shepard can be more than just a summer league sensation, but hope is not a plan for a title contender, especially one that went out and took a big swing in landing Kevin Durant for the likes of Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a handful of draft picks. Here is the plan for the mediocre and floundering, right where Karnisovas resides. Because of Houston's payroll and the dried up free agent market, a trade is the only real solution, and the Bulls just happen to have a player that fits Van Vliet's role perfectly and maybe even better. Enter Coby White. White is in the final year of his current contract, informed the team several times that he would not be taking an extension until he hits free agency next summer and is part of a crowded guard room. Now, has come out that Coby White has absolutely said that he has no intentions of signing an extension throughout the season. He is going to wait until unrestricted free agent. But what has also been said is that Coby White he wants to remain with the Chicago Bulls. He has no desire to leave. Now, players do say this all the time as well. So who knows how much is truth behind that. As far as Coby White's concerned, I will take him at his word until proven otherwise that he does want to remain here as a member of the Chicago Bulls. But who knows? Crazier things that have happened. So Cowley goes on to say the Bulls extended Josh Giddey for 4 years, $100 million several weeks ago. Re-signed Trey Jones, still have Ayo Sumu, and aren't sure what Dalen Terry is exactly. Factor in Kevin Herter in the final year of his contract, and plenty of guards to go around. So here's where Joe Cowley makes his trade suggestion, and he suggests this is a win-win for both teams. He suggests a trade of Coby White for Reed Shepard and Tari Eason, who apparently is disgruntled. Now, I'm not up to date with Houston Rockets news. I don't follow him, so I'm gonna have to take Carly at his word of this one, which I do reluctantly. So disgruntled forward Tari Eason and suggests that again, this is a win-win trade for both teams. Shepard, fresh off 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4 steals per game in summer league, had a hard time finding minutes in his rookie season. Well, did you not see the roster that they already had last season? When you had Josh Green and Fred VanVleet and other guys in their guard rotation. Okay, they got Reed Shepard at the third, I believe it was the third pick overall. Perfect player to come along and develop slowly. Eason had so she mentions that Reed Shepard had hard times finding minutes in his rookie season and fits the Bulls' timeline perfectly. Now, again, the Bulls have made it known that they like young players with experience. Well, Reed Shepard is a very young player and has had 1 year of experience. So, how much experience is there really when it comes to that? Eason is a talented forward who flashes when given consistent minutes. The Bulls have White, Nikola Vučević, Herter, Zach Collins, Desumu, and Javon Carter all coming off the books next season and currently only have $77 million in guaranteed contracts for the 26-27 campaign. Meanwhile, Houston is hard capped in the first apron, has Durant as an expiring contract, while Van Vliet has a $25 million player option in 26-27. Bet your bottom dollar he is exercising the option, especially coming off a torn ACL. They are in desperate times to get something of impact done now. One of the several storylines as the Bulls enter training camp, but really only a storyline that Karnisovas should be focusing on. And that's he goes on to talk about Martis Bazelis. Now, in the Bulls Without Borders episode on Saturday morning, again, I'm going to reference that as my time, not Chicago time. Now, I spoke about Martis. What I need to see from him in year 2 is not taking a huge jump that unlike Joe Cowley in this article, I need to see Marcus Gonzalez just adding elements to his game. As I mentioned in that Bulls Without Borders episode, creating his own shot, becoming a better man-on-man defender, like perimeter defender, like staying in front of his man, or all that stuff. I just need to see things being added to his game, and then for me personally, the year when he takes that jump is year 3, and that's when hopefully we see him start becoming the man on this team, the alpha dog, and start looking like, hey, is this guy going to become that all-star, that potential superstar that we are banking on at this moment, Marcus Gonzalez uh, turning into? Because as we all know, Torres Karnisovas is not going to tank. He's not going to tear it down. So for any Bulls fans out there who want to continue on, and excuse me while I fix up my little thing, it was on the whole lot of NBL uh, logo there. So my apologies. This is whole lot of Bull, not whole lot of NBL. So with Marcus Buzelis, he just needs to be adding things to his game, and then next season in year 3 for Marcus, that's when he needs to explode and become that superstar that we hope he's going to develop into. Now Cowley goes on to say the Bulls better hope he does because the front office has shown an inability to land a superstar talent and is praying that it will come from the own backyard of Bazilis. If his summer league and open gym runs are an indication of where he is in that process, Karnisovas can sleep well at night. So by all accounts, Martis is definitely he's on that progression. And one thing, if you haven't already figured out about Martis Bazelis, the guy's a dog. Take an X-ray of his chest, you're gonna see a pit bull, a vicious German Shepherd, whatever type of dog you want to put in there, Martis has it. He will not rest until he has scratched every piece of potential he has in his game. He will make sure he gets the absolute best out of himself. Depending on now, obviously, what level that reaches, that's going to depend on Martis, and Martis will make sure he reaches that ceiling. And then Cowley goes on to mention Josh Giddey, where he says this: "Giddy up! Now that Giddey has his security, it's time for him to make improvements in securing the opposing team on the defensive end. If Giddey can be the offensive player, excuse me, I'm not reading well today, that he was post All-Star break and adds an improved defensive element to his game, look out." Correct. Cowley's correct on this one. I don't praise Cowley very much, but in some, to be honest, no shit. Like, even as a Giddy fan, I know that Josh Giddey now needs to become a better defender. It goes without saying. Can he now? He's not going to shoot. Now, when it comes to his offensive game, he's not going to shoot the 45-46% he was shooting in those final 20-25 games that he was. That's not sustainable for even the greatest shooters of all time. It's just not. But where I do want Josh Giddey to be sitting around is that around where he was last season, where he ended the season at 37-38%, but for the entire season. Don't want to see those up and especially how he started the season shooting badly. Now, he didn't start playing badly. He was just shooting poorly. Big thing to remember there with Josh Giddey, he wasn't playing poorly. Now, was he getting smoked defensively and it had to be taken out of the game in late game situations? Yeah, of course. But Josh Giddey drew a line in the sand. He realized where he was at with that. He drew a line in the sand and made improvements to the fact that where he made Billy Donovan put him on the court to end games. So Josh Giddey is also another player who is going to make sure he reaches the absolute ceiling of his potential. And where Josh Giddey's the height of his potential is just up to Josh. Only, Josh will decide how far he gets in his career. Now, if he does add a consistent 3-point shot to his game where the defense must respect him out on the perimeter and then can be an average defender, even maybe just slightly below average, but don't be a turnstile out there and getting beaten and blown by every single time. If he can do that, Josh Giddey could very well become an all-star in this league and would be the guys. almost a walking triple double. So if he, like I just said, if he can add that consistent 3-point shot to his game and become a solid defender, average, even just slightly below average, Giddy can definitely be an all-star in this league. Just saying. There's not too many players out there who almost average a triple double and are at least somewhat average defenders and consistent 3-point shooters that aren't all-stars. And then finally, Cowley goes on to, well, not finally, he goes on to talk. Well, actually, no, it is finally. Excuse me. He goes on to talk about Nikola Vučević. No player has been unfairly criticized as much as Vučević. With an expiring contract, fresh off a season which he shot 40% from 3-point range, he could be the ultimate trade chip by the February deadline. He needs to arrive in. He needs to arrive in camp, picking up right where he left off. However, and that part, yep, again, Cowley is right. Vučević has been unfairly criticized at times. Um, I think he just gets made a scapegoat for a lot of things, including from myself. I'll hold myself accountable for that one as well. That because of the type of center that this iteration of the Bulls do need for to better suit the playing style of a Josh Giddey with Marcus Bazals, with Coby White, even upcoming with Noah Essengay, I'd assume Isaac Okoro, like all these guys, they need a more of a rim protecting shot blocking center, athletic rim roller. Vučević is not that. But what Vučević does provide you is a very consistent inside presence in the paint. He shot over 40% from three from last season. Now, and one thing to remember as well, now if I pull it back up, because I did have this up earlier when I was decided to cook Casual Calder over in Bulls HQ because he wanted to talk about Nikola Vučević's three-point shooting. Let me bring this back up. I should have brought it back up before I started the podcast, so my apologies on that one. 24. But it was talked about how his three-point shooting, and if I pull up Kelder's comments in regards to it as well, if I can find that. So shout out to Brian. Not gonna be that mean to you, but there was a conversation in Bulls HQ about Nikola Vučević's three-point output, and he wanted to highlight February and then talk about March and April with his three-point shot. Now, he highlights that in February, he shot 34.3%, and then March and April, he's up over 45%. Basically saying that his three-point shooting was only a short stretch of time. So, Kelder, as I put a screenshot for you in that comment section on Bulls HQ, did you stop to actually go back and look at the entire season? Let's go through Nikola Vučević's month by month three-point shooting for the 24-25 season. Shall we do that? All right. Buckle up, Kelder. October, 5 games. No, yeah, okay. October, the shortest month of the season, only 5 games. Shoots 45.8% from beyond the arc. In 16 games in November, 47.3%. In December, 42.3%. Now, as we come into January and February, this is where it does take a nosedive. In 16 games in January, it drops down to 26.8% for the month of January. And then in February, it comes back up again, back into the 30s at 34.3%, which is the percentage that Kelder was talking about in the Bulls HQ Discord. And then as we get into March, 40 in 11 games. So go back to January, 16 games there at 26.8%. In February, 8 games, 34.3%. So not a huge sample size there in February. But in 24 games over January, February, he shoots 26.8% and then 34.3%. Then 11 games in March, 45.7%. In April, 6 games in April. Again, not a massive sample size, only 6 games, 47.4%. So, Kelda, please answer me the question. When you go through the entire season month by month, but you only want to point out February, March, and April, that he only shot the ball for a good stretch at the end of the season in March and April. Go back and look at the entire season. Now, if I come back into Stats Muse and let's look at Nikola Vučević's entire season, averaging 18.5 points and 10 rebounds and 3.5 assists is 73 games. For the entire season, shot the 3-point from beyond the arc at 40.2%. And that's including 2 down months where he shot in the 34% range and just a smidge under 27%. Now, question I pose again to Kelda, and Kelda, drop a comment down below. Don't try and leave it down below, Kelda, okay? You can ask me on Bulls HQ if you like, but hey, drop a comment down below. Does a 24 game sample size outweigh 49 games? Does it? I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure 49 games heavily outweighs 24. Just saying. So stop trying to use your your baseball analysis on where you can use stats to work out exactly what a player's done on the baseball field. Don't work in basketball, dude. Watch the games. And even more importantly, come look at the actual numbers for the entire season and break it down month by month. So Nikola Vučević does have a role to play in this team. And as Hayes from Chicago Bulls Central has suggested a few times, be prepared to see Nikola Vučević here, not just beyond the trade deadline, but going into the 26-27 season as well. But there could be that Lonzo Ball move in where a trade doesn't go down by the deadline. Vučević signs a little 2-year discounted extension, and then they get a trade for him right as the off season begins. That can happen. All right, so tomorrow is Monday in Chicago. I believe you're waking up to about by the time you guys see this, it'll already be Monday morning, which means it's media day for the Chicago Bulls, and then training camp begins. Now, let me just pull up again. This is stuff I should be looking up, but I'm thinking of it on the fly because not one to take notes. Jot down notes. Now, so training camp begins after the media day, so on Tuesday in Chicago, and then the Bulls have their first preseason game is next Wednesday for us here in Australia. It's next Tuesday night in Chicago against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Bulls basketball is finally back. Media day is the official essentially the official opening of the 25-26 season for the Chicago Bulls. The off season's over. We made it. We're back. Let's go. All right, guys. So I'll be back tomorrow to bring you my thoughts from the media day with the press conferences where Arturas kind of show us. Hopefully, we also hear not just from Arturas but Mark Eversley as well. Other than after I think at the draft it was, or coming out of the season ending presser, we never hear from Mark Eversley. So hopefully, we get to hear from him tomorrow as well as AK. Obviously, we're going to hear from Billy Donovan. I'm sure the players that we're probably going to hear from: Josh Giddey, Coby White, Martis Buzelis, Noah Essengay. I would dare say, Aya Sumu. So I think there's normally about 4 or 5 players. So I had to if I had to guess, maybe even Nikola Vučević, he's usually one of them as well. But we finally made it. The off season is over. It's done, kaput. About damn time. Basketball is back, baby, and even more importantly, Bulls basketball is back. I can't wait. Let's go. All right, guys. So that's it for this episode of Whole Lotta Bull. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter. Where is it? There it is. Whatever. At Whole Lotta Bull. You can follow me personally if you like at Bulls_Troy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers I've had in the last couple of days since the Bulls Without Borders episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the content and stick around for more. Glad you could be part of the ride with me. If anyone, for all you guys in America, or even just your non-Australians in general, and including the Australians, if you don't know already, I also host the Whole Lot of NBL podcast and YouTube channel. So go check out Whole Lot of NBL as well if you're interested in what's going on in the NBL. I try to cover the entire league as best as I can. Just dropped an episode for a round 2 recap, and what a round it was, especially for my hometown. Adelaide 36ers got a nice season opening victory over the Brisbane Bullets. And the GOATs, the NBL GOAT, not the basketball GOAT, the NBL GOAT, is now a member of the Adelaide 36ers, and he dropped 39 points in his debut. So it was beautiful to watch. If you guys want to, any of you guys overseas want to watch some NBL basketball, you can. So if you want to watch them live, they will be on the NBL's YouTube channel. But if you can only catch replays, go to nbl.com.au and follow me along with. Let's not get rid of that one. So go to nbl.com.au, go to the news tab, click down. Actually, no, go. Actually, yes, go to news. There'll be a little drop down section there under videos. And there'll be a spot there that says game replays. You can catch every single game of NBL basketball in full. So that's if you're catching replays. If you're going to watch the games live, they will be on the NBL's YouTube channel. But for you guys probably in the States, it's probably just easier to just catch the replays. So nbl.com.au, click on the news section, part will drop down. Under games, just go to game recaps. Every single game will be there in full for you guys to catch. Go catch the LA 36ers game against the Brisbane Bullets. Check it out. All right, guys. So until next time, be good. See you, Red.